How come Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock had a crush on each other but never dated? Why does Octavia Spencer hope Keanu Reeves didn't recognize her when they first met? And what do Hollywood celebs really think about the most breathtaking actor in the world?
You're breathtaking!
Hi, my name is Rob, and let's go! Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves made two terrific movies together, the action film Speed and the romantic drama The Lake House. Sandy and Keanu just looked so right together in both of them, so the question is, why haven't they dated each other? Ever? And the answer was shrouded in mystery for years, and it was only a year ago when Ellen DeGeneres shed a light on it. Sandy was a guest on The Ellen Show and revealed that she had a crush on Keanu.
It was hard for me to really be serious. He would look at me and I'd be like,
But for some reason, she thought that there was something about her that Keanu didn't like. The actress even believes that she's been friends with Keanu for more than 20 years because they never dated. Could that be the case? Anyways, the most interesting thing in this story is that Keanu Reeves also came to The Ellen Show a year after Sandy did and had a chance to publicly comment on what she said. Keanu said that he had no idea Sandy had feelings for him. And right after that, he added,
You obviously didn't know I had a crush on her either.
oh, wow.
But why then did neither of them do anything about it? We were working, Reeves replies. Yep, right, like that reason could possibly stop anybody. Hey, Keanu, haven't you ever had a romance with someone you did a movie with?
Sounds like yes.
Sounds like a yes to us too. The one thing is for sure here, the chemistry between Reeves and Bullock that we saw in Speed and The Lake House was real. Another actress that couldn't resist Keanu's charisma was Winona Ryder. They first met on the set of Francis Ford Coppola's movie Dracula. Mr. Coppola is known for making outstanding films like The Godfather trilogy and Apocalypse Now, just to begin with. He's also known for his extravagant manner of treating his actors. For example, on the set of Dracula, Mr. Coppola told Keanu to verbally insult Winona in order to make her cry for a scene. Whoa! Winona recalled how Mr. Coppola shouted at her, "You and tried to make her emotional. Then he told Keanu and the rest of the cast to do exactly the same. Jeez, is that even legal? That's probably what Keanu thought at that moment because he was brave enough to refuse Coppola. Keanu defended Winona despite the fact that he was against one of the Hollywood's biggest directors ever. To put it in context, I'm supposed to be crying in the scene, Ryder recalled. Francis was trying to get all of the actors to yell things that would make me cry, but Keanu wouldn't. It just didn't work. Since that incident, Winona was super attracted to Keanu. Of course she was, who wouldn't be? Now you're ready to hear the story about why Winona Ryder truly believes that Keanu Reeves is her husband. It has to do with the same movie set Dracula. There was a scene where Winona and Reeves' characters got married. So what, you may ask? It's a movie, it's all fictional. Not really. The thing is, the director, Mr. Coppola, hired a real Romanian priest for the wedding ceremony in Dracula. We shot the master and he did the whole thing. So I think we're married, Winona told EW. I swear to God, I think we're married in real life. That's why Keanu gets text messages from Winona once in a while saying, "Hello, husband." The actor didn't believe her at first, so he asked Mr. Coppola whether the ceremony was real. And after the director's confirmation, Keanu had no other choice but to admit he is married to Winona. Yeah, it's awesome, Keanu laughs. And what do you think, guys? Does this count as a real marriage? Now let's talk about the story that happened in the 90s, though it was only exposed a couple of months ago. Recently, on the Graham Norton show, Oscar-winning actress Octavia Spencer recalled how she met Keanu Reeves for the first time. It was 25 years ago and The Matrix had just came out. Spencer was on her way to pick up a script for an audition. Her car hadn't been washed, and because she always parked under trees, there was bird crap all over the back of it. Sorry for retelling you this detail, but it's a pretty important one, so you'll understand why. So Octavia Spencer was on her way and all of a sudden her car broke down in a posh area of Beverly Hills.
There was a cafe and all of these people were sitting out there and the cars were honking. Nobody would help me.
Horrible, right? But then, out of the blue, there comes a man with his sunglasses and a motorcycle helmet on. And he says, "You need some help?" And Spencer's like, sure. Then she realized that this man was none other than Keanu Reeves. She thought that he was going to get into the car so she could get behind it and push it. Because, you know, her car was all covered in bird crap. But Keanu said, no, I'm going to push you out of the street. You get in.
So he pushed me out of the street. And then, of course, when people saw it was Keanu Reeves helping me, everybody came down.
Wow, what a story. Another interesting thing here is that Spencer still believes that Keanu didn't recognize her. More than that, she really hopes he didn't know that it was her, because she's very embarrassed about how she and the car looked at that moment. Right, that's why you told that story on the Graham Norton show, Octavia. I think you've got the point. All the actresses that have worked with Keanu find him absolutely lovely in person. But it's not only them, the rest of the people from the filming crew can confirm that too. Chad Stahelski, for example, he was Keanu's stunt double and later his director in the John Wick franchise. They have a pretty long and intriguing friendship story. Chad worked together with Keanu on the set of The Matrix as a stunt double and later served as a stunt coordinator for the franchise. And Keanu was so impressed by Chad and his stunt team's work that after filming The Matrix Reloaded, he gave them Harley-Davidson motorcycles. I mean, to every single team member. We were all in this thing and we were training together beforehand, Reeves explained to the Seattle Post-Intelligencer. I just wanted to give a bigger thank you to all of these guys who helped me make this, I think, one of the great movie scenes in the history of cinema. Well, that is a huge way to say thank you, isn't it? So later in 2014, it was Chad's turn to pay back Keanu by inviting him to play the leading role in John Wick trilogy. And Chad is absolutely sure that the bulk of John Wick's success rests on the actor's shoulders. I'm trying to bear my soul and who I am and how I tell the story, but never underestimate that this is Keanu Reeves up on the screen, giving it all. If you saw Keanu work, it would choke you up. I'm sure that all of you've seen videos of Keanu's training for John Wick. This man doesn't hold anything back. And the director Chad is always ready to assure us that. This guy's putting everything into every shot, doesn't leave set, the last guy to leave the gym at night, always comes with ideas. I think that's a big part of the magic sauce that makes John Wick such a brilliant thing to so many different types of people. Sounds fair to me. Another celeb who is impressed with Keanu is famous podcast host Joe Rogan. And the thing about Mr. Rogan is, he's actually never met Keanu in person. But in his podcast, he's talked to dozens of people who've met Keanu. And he's asked them what kind of a person he is. Here is a brief recap of many celebs' opinions about Hollywood's living legend. Keanu Reeves is spacey in a good way. He has a very calm energy inside him which helps him handle being that famous.
You gotta realize he's the Matrix guy. Yeah. That's some over-the-top fame. He hit that Johnny Depp, Tom Cruise level of fame and then just became this super chill, mellow guy that can just like go through crowds.
Just think about it. According to Forbes, Keanu Reeves' net worth is about $360 million. And he can sit in a subway by himself like a regular person? Weird, isn't it? You can't name any other celeb who'd be as insanely wealthy as Keanu is and who'd be super chill and down to earth like he is. Now, we want to recall a couple of craziest examples of Keanu Reeves being the nicest person ever to all of the people around him. But before that, I have a question for you. What would you do if you had $1 million paycheck? There are many ways to spend money, right? But if you'd intentionally cut your pay so the rest of the film crew would have bigger checks, then congratulations! You're just like Keanu Reeves. Yes, he's known for multiple noble gestures like that. For example, while making The Matrix, he asked to cut his pay so the special effects artists and costume designers would have bigger checks for their work. Or while filming The Devil's Advocate and The Replacements, Keanu funneled his money to the production budget so it could hire such legendary celebs as Al Pacino and Gene Hackman. When Keanu was asked why did he do it, he answered, "Money is the last thing I think about. I could live on what I have already made for the next few centuries." Keanu also has a foundation that helps aid a couple of children's hospitals and cancer research. And being not only generous but also shy, he doesn't like to talk much about it. I don't like to attach my name to it. I just let the foundation do what it does. There are dozens of Keanu Reeves stories like that, and we can be sure they are truthful because there are just so many of them. Especially stories written by different internet users who've had the lucky chance to meet Keanu in person. Here's one heartwarming example from a Reddit user. Back in the late 90s and fresh out of college, the Reddit user got their first job as an assistant prop designer on the set of Chain Reaction, where Keanu was a supporting actor with Morgan Freeman. And every day for the last few weeks of filming, Keanu treated the stagehand and grunt workers, including the Reddit user, by taking them out for a free breakfast and lunch. He was genuinely a very nice guy to work with, writes the user. I guess we all have something to learn from Keanu Reeves, don't we? Hey, if you love Keanu as much as we do, then we have a cool thing for you. Another video about him, this time it's more dramatic. We've dived in deeply into the tragic events of Keanu's life, and it's a must watch. So go and check it out and have an awesome day!